This conference will now be recorded.
Right. Let's start today's session. In the last session of Windows Forms application, especially in ADO.NET, we were discuss about how to connect with SQL Server database from Windows Form. For that, I use a connection object. Okay. So I use what? Connection object. So we worked with connection object in the last session. And today we'll see how to perform some required operations on this database at 6 p.m. Using command object we have to discuss. So first let's flip to SQL Server Management Studio. There I have to check at database at 6 p.m. What tables are there right now. I have to check it first because from window form to SQL Server database, so I want to show you how to create database table by passing commands. So whether table gets created or not, I have to check. So that's what I'm opening SQL Server Management Studio right now. So I'm working with currently database at 6 p.m. Let's open database at 6 p.m. Now you can see this is your database and database at 6 p.m. Expand this. And right now we have so many list of tables, but in this, apart from this list of tables, I need to create one new table from window form. That is how to create a table from window form to SQL Server database. We'll discuss now. Just look at here. I'm trying to create a table. For that, I'm trying to do design. In the last session, I just communicate with the database, just connection establish with the database by hitting connect button. Okay. Now today, I'm taking one more window form and let me copy and paste the button. You can also copy paste the design from one form to another form easily. So I'm adding one new form, that is form 16, and I'm just trying to copy paste this button into form 16. Okay, form 15 already I designed. Right click on it and copy this. Go to form 16, right click on it and paste it here. Do you want to change the table button text? Then we can change it. Select this button, go to properties, and button name is just, I'm trying to change btn create. Yes, btn create. I want to create a table. And button background color also, let me change button background color. So just I'm taking, this is button background color. So now coming to this, let me change the text here. So what is my text, So just here, create table I'm taking. It's my text of the button. So create table in the sense, so as soon as when we click on create table button in database, table should create. That means we have to pass the command. Okay, that means we have to pass the command. What command? SQL Server command. What is that SQL Server command? Insert command. Sorry, create command. Create table name, and so on. Like that, you have to pass it. But to create a table in SQL Server, in the last session, we have seen how to communicate with SQL Server, how to connection. For that, I have used two steps. Okay, we have some SQL ADO.NET classes are there. No? Connection object is there. This connection object is for what purpose? To communicate or to establish connection to the database. Now today I'm doing what actually I'm passing SQL Server statement from window form to SQL Server. That statement through I have to create a table. So for that purpose, we have to pass the command. What command? Create command. So we are going to work with command object now. Command object. So command object is used to perform required operations at SQL Server level, like insert query, delete query, update query, create query. We can pass by using command object. And command object also will work with connection oriented architecture. So while working with command object, you must and should open connection. After completion of your task, you must and should close the connection also. Okay, so that's purpose. So command object is required. Today we'll see working with command object. So to work with command object, we need to follow some steps here. So there are 6 steps are there. So step 1, I'm trying to do working with command object. So what is the step 1? You can see step 1, declare, declare, declare command object. Declare command object. How to declare command object? Syntax, syntax, class name, then after that object name. Okay, class name, object name. Example, what is SQL, what is command object? Command class name is what SQL command is the class name, CMD is what object name here. Step 2 is there. Okay, define, define command object, define command object. So how to define command object? Syntax is, okay, here I'm taking command object name equals to new class name of, here we have to use command comma connection object name, connection object. So this is actually example. Command object name is what? Here CMD is a command object. This object name can be of any name, you can take it. CMD is my command object name equals to new class name is what? You are working with which class now? Command class. So my class name is SQL command class of command. Command means what purpose you are going to use this command class, that purpose we can use it. For example, I'm creating table, so we can pass create table command, or if you try to inserting the record, you can pass here insert command, or if you are trying to delete record, delete command, like this you can use it. Okay, so create or insert or delete or update, any command you can pass. Just for example, I'm giving, okay, command you have to pass. After that, connection object CON. CON is a connection object. So while establishing connection, so we have to take SQL connection class, and that object is CON. That CON object also here we have to pass. Then only this command object knows that address path of the database. So this is what actually step 2 here. Now coming to the step 3. Step 3. So mention command type. Mention what actually? Command type. Mention command type. So how to mention command type? What is how we can mention the command type? Just observe here syntax. Syntax. So command object name dot command type equals to command type dot, okay, value. So example, command object name is what? CMD dot command type equals to what? Command type dot text, because we are passing text query, that is SQL statements, that is string format only, text query that is. Sometimes you have to use procedures also, stored procedure concept, that is very important. After discussion of this immediate concept is that is only working with stored procedures. So mention command type. How to mention command type? The syntax is command object name dot command type equals to command type dot value, and CMD is my command object name, already mentioned here, and command type equals to command type dot which type of statement you are passing. I am passing SQL Server statement, that is text format only I'm passing. Okay, so this is next. After that, so you have to open, we have to open what is that connection. So step 4 I'm taking. So open connection, open connection. Syntax, how to open connection? So simple, connection object name, connection object name dot open command I'm using, open method. Example, connection object name is CON dot open is what actually? Method. Then step 5 is very important, that is called define execution method. Define execution method. Yes, obviously, define execution method. Syntax is, so how to define execution method? Simple. So command object name, command object name, so COMMAND, command object name dot execute non-query, execute non-query, we can say that, execute non-query. Example, command object name is CMD dot execute non-query, better execution method we can take here, execution method, and CMD is a command object, execute non-query is a method. So what is this execute non-query? I will tell you. just bit a minute. Okay, just in within few minutes I'll discuss about this execute non-query. Strictly remember, without fifth step we can't do anything. This is the important step you should not ignore, because you are passing here command. What command? SQL Server command. For what purpose you are doing this command need to be executed by using this execute non-query command. Then step six is obviously after completion of operations. I strongly recommend to close the connection. So that is the step 6, closing the connection clearly. So close connection. Now you can see here, close connection, and connection object name dot, what I'm trying to do, close, and con dot, what actually close, we can say that con dot close. Close connection, connection object name dot close, con dot close, we can say that. These 6 steps we have to follow if you want to create a table or inserting the records, deleting the records, updating the records purpose. You must and should follow these all steps compulsory. And before going to start including this all stuff into my window form under this create table, but I want to give some clarity here. So what are the execution methods, and when we use a certain execution method, in which case we have to use, we'll discuss now. First of all, ADO.NET will offer 3 types of execution methods are there. 3 types of execution methods. 3 types of execution methods. First one is execute non-query. First one is execute non-query. Next one is execute reader. Third one is execute scalar. We can say that. Execute non-query, execute reader, execute scalar. Okay, execute non-query, execute reader, execute scalar. These 3 methods are there. But look at here, when we use execute non-query, when we pass from window forms to SQL Server database, okay, so when we pass action queries or action commands, SQL queries, action queries, like create is action query, okay, delete is action query, update is action query, insert is action query. These action queries, when we supply from window form to SQL Server, then the method is in ADO.NET execute non-query. And sometimes we should supply only non-action queries, that is non-action queries. Non-action queries means what? Non-action queries, that is select. So when we use select is the non-action query. Means just for reading the data from database, we use the select command. In that case, we use execute reader. The name itself, the definition is there. Execute reader means to read the data from database. So execute reader is required for when we pass select command. This is non-action queries. And execute scalar also sometimes we use, that is when we pass non-action query with aggregate functions. What is non-action query? You know that select is the non-action query. What are the aggregate functions? Max, min, average, count, sum. These are all along with aggregate function. Then our execution method is what? Execute scalar. Select query with aggregate functions. Select with max, select with min, select with average, select with sum, select with count. This kind of aggregate functions with combination of select. Then our execution method is what? Execute scalar. And execute reader, execute scalar, execute non-query. These are the methods. Execute non-query, execute reader, execute scalar. So execute non-query method is important to us at this moment right now, because I'm trying to create a table. After that, I want to insert the records into the table, update the records into the table, delete the records into the table. These are action queries. When we go for action queries from window form to SQL Server, our execution method is what? Execute non-query. Right now in this session, I'm going to use execute non-query. Maybe in upcoming session, depends on our requirement, we may go to execute reader and execute scalar also. So first let's flip to our design. So here for creating table, I need to double click on this create table event. This is btn create. Okay. And you know that first of all, you must and should include the namespace which is required to include SQL Server statements which is related to ADO.NET. So all ADO.NET classes are present in a particular namespace that is using system dot look at here, using system dot data dot SQL client. This is the namespace actually. We have to import that SQL client. So in this namespace, all ADO.NET relevant classes are there. And now I'm trying to create table here. So to create a table, first what I want to do, just for my convenient, I need to take, okay, string s equals to, okay, or else string s equals to, I'm trying to, first let me give the connection. So first I have to establish connection, SQL connection, CON equals to, CON is my connection object equals to new SQL connection. Now tell me, anyone, how to pass the connection string. What are the steps are required? Quickly, you can tell me now. First step, what I should do to import connection string or address path of the database. Anyone tell me where I should go? Quickly, there is no time. Where I should go immediately to consume connection string. Go to Server Explorer. Good. Next, what I should do? What I should do?
Go to data connections.
Right click on data connection. Yes, one more thing you can see this. Yeah, add connection. If we have already database here, okay, which is already be done, no need to do every time these steps. Okay, directly can right click on database at 6 p.m. and go to properties and connection string, you can import it. For the first time, if you are doing, even your database is not there in this list, simply you can go to data connection, right click, add connection, and server name is dot server. And in this dot server, I'm expanding this database. Which database do you want to interact? That database name you can select and hit this OK. Automatically it is active in this list database at 6 p.m.dbo. But every time, no need to do these steps. Once you have added here, directly you can go to Server Explorer and you can expand data connections. Already your database is listed out here. Just simply right click on it and properties. It's taking time. Yes, properties, and right hand side there is a connection string is there. Double click on it and copy this and coming to here in this, paste it here. That's all. This is the path of the database clearly. So using this, we can easily communicate with database at 6 p.m. After that, I want to create a table here. Okay, to create a table, we need to work with SQL command. So that's what I'm going to prepare first. String s equals to, first I want to prepare a table statement. Tell me what statement is required to create a table. We have discussed already in SQL Server purely. To create a table, this command is required. Create table, table name is TBL, or else my table, you can say that. Table name is what? My table. Create table, table name is my table. But note this point. So in this database at 6 p.m., okay, right click on tables folder once, refresh it now. So do you have any my table name? Any table is there? Check it once. There is no my table is available here. Got my point? So now I'm trying to create my table from here to there, where to there, window form to SQL Server. So I'm taking one string s variable because my SQL statements I want to store into s. It is my convenient. Whenever it is required to pass that SQL query, I can pass that simply s only. That is very convenient. So create table, table name is my table of ID, integer type, name, varchar type of 20 characters, and address, varchar type of 20 characters, and then salary, that is integer type. So this is my table, close this. So termination, end of the termination. So this is exactly SQL Server statement. Create table, table name my table of ID column integer, name is the column name, varchar of 20, address is the column name, varchar of 20, salary is the integer, that's all. Next, now we can follow the statements working with command object. What are the command object here? First, declare the command object. How to declare command object? Class name, object name. SQL command is a class name, object name is CMD. Let's try to do this. So SQL command SQL command is a built-in class name. CMD is an object name. That's all. Next step is what? Define command object. So command object name equals to new class name of command comma connection object. CMD is my object name of command. New SQL command. Here we have to pass actually any command like create command, delete command, update command, comma connection object. But look at here. Let me write here CMD equals to new SQL command of, here we have to pass command. Actually, what command I have to pass? Create command. But already create command pass. Where it is there? Yes. After that connection object CON. This is simple. So if you don't use this statement, okay, this total line of code we have to place in the place of S only. Just for my convenient, already I took this SQL Server statements and stored in S variable I'm passing here. And look at here, these two statements, we can combinedly together one. So look at here, SQL command CMD equals to new SQL command S comma connection. Step 1, step 2, I'm making only one step. How we make this one? Same similarly, SQL command class CMD object equals to new SQL command S comma connection. After that, the step 4, step 3 is there. What is that? Mention command type. CMD dot command type equals to command type dot text only. So let's give this command type object CMD dot command type equals to command type dot, what is the command you are passing? Text command I am passing. Now you can see there are three options are there. Table direct, text, stored procedure. I have created table query. It is in text format only. That's what I'm taking text. Later in upcoming sessions, we'll discuss about stored procedures also. Instead of direct command, we have to use stored procedure actually. So right now I'm taking text. CMD is my command object name. Dot command type equals to command type dot text only. After that, immediately, next step is what? Fourth step, open connection. Because command object is used to work with connection oriented model. So before going to create a table, you must and should establish connection or open the connection. Then only we can able to create the table in the. After completion of creating table, you have to close the connection. Okay. So let's open the connection simply by using connection.open. Let's flip to code. CYN is my connection object. Open is a method. And after that, fifth step is very, very important step. I said define execution method. So what is execution method is there? Execute non-queries are. Why it is? Because CMD dot execute non-query. So now coming to this point, we are passing action queries. Look at here, my query, create query. Create means action query or not? Yes. When we pass create, delete, update, insert, these are the action queries. Then our execution method is execute non-query. So let me use execute non-query here. CMD dot execute non-query I'm passing. And after that, simply connection dot close finally. So connection dot close. So in case after execution, I want to show message clearly, successful message. So whether record is the create table is created successfully or not. So that's what I'm trying to do here. You can see message box dot show, message box dot show table created successfully, like this. Table created successfully like this. This I want to show you clearly. Okay. So this is about what? Simple statements to create a table. As soon as when we hit the create table button in the database, automatically table gets created. Look at here. Right now there is no table exist with the name called my table. Whenever I hit this button in my window form, automatically it will connect with SQL Server database, and there it will execute this command. Means using this statement, automatically table gets created using my execute non-query execution method. Okay, let's save this, and no need to save, directly can set up the startup object program.cs form 16, and then click on save it, and then hit this run button. So now we got this execution. Whenever we hit this create button, automatically table gets created in database. Look this ones. Now you can see this. When I hit this create table, table gets created and it will show that message box. Just wait. If anything wrong, it will show clearly exception. You can also handle exception, what we have seen in previous example. Okay, table created successfully. We got the message. Once we okay this and close this and go back to database table, right click on tables folder under your database. You can see this is my database 6 p.m. and refresh once table gets created or not. You can notice that what's your table name? My table. It's created. Yes. You can expand this and expand columns and what columns what column names we provided and sizes, int id, name varchar of 20, address varchar of 20, salary integer. These columns only we have provided. Yes. So this is, if you want to see the table data, right click on it and simply click on edit top 200 rows. Now this time you can see we don't have any records within it. Empty table is there existed. But now immediately my next step is what I want to insert and delete and update the records into this table. Minimize this. For insertion, deletion, updation, I need to prepare a new window form. Look at this all operations at one time. I'll do that. So according to my table structure, I need to prepare 4 labels. Label 1 for ID, name, address, salary, 4 text boxes, and then respective button controls. Let's prepare the window form according to your table. So I'm dragging and dropping labels here. Label 1, copy this, label 2, and then paste it. Label 3, and one more label is required, label 4. Total 4 labels and its respective text boxes I need to prepare, drag and drop it. And this text box is for ID, this text box is for name, and this one is for address, this one is for salary. So you have to you give the input here, and based on your input, then when I hit this insert button, delete button, or update button, that operations I have to do. So for that I need buttons here. Button 1 for insertion, and button 2 for updation, button 3 for deletion, button 4 for clearing all the text boxes, because after inserting the data, after entering in this text boxes, do you want insert next insertion, then first make it clear this text boxes by hitting this clear button control. Let's select this all together, go to properties and simply expand font size, make it as font size 15 and bold, and arrange the controls properly for clear visibility. And label 1 text I'm giving just enter ID, and label 2 text is enter name, enter name. Oh, enter name. And next, what is this? Enter address. Enter address. And this is enter salary. Let's go for enter salary here. Enter salary like this. So better to give the table or text box names properly here, because namings are important. Identification of the controls are very important. The reason is why if I don't give any name for this text box as text box 1, text box 2, text box 3, text box 4, default names. But while writing the code for this accessing the fields, you may get confused. If I use that third text box for name, it might be wrong. If I use fourth text box for name, it might be wrong. So better to give the names properly. Select the text box, and text box name is text box 1. I have to give text box name properly, starting with the txt, and this is for ID purpose. So let's go for ID only. Txt ID, I have to give the name. Just observe here, txt ID I'm taking text box name, and this text box name is for txt name, and this text box is for txt address, so txt address, and this text box is for txt salary. Let's go for txt salary. After that, I want to arrange the buttons here. Button names also properly I'm giving. This is for btn insert. It is a name of the button, but it's not a text which is visible on the button. This is the visible text which is appear on the button. So insert button is done. Next, what? Update. So this is update text I'm giving. After update text, now btn update like this. So this is one more text box, that is update button. Sorry, text box, not button. And this is for deletion. So btn delete, I'm taking button deletion, and here delete, delete, delete. So delete button is the one more button here, delete button. And this is for clearing my all text boxes when after completion of inserting one record, next record if you want to insert, before that you have to clear it. So btn clear is my clear button control. That's all. So let's arrange properly. Okay, now. So this is insertion, deletion buttons are there. In each and every button, we have to write some code. So first we look into insertion operation. Double click on insert button. I need to do this. But look at here for insertion, deletion, updation. Every time you need not to use connection string in every event. So that's what I'm taking. Connection string event is for global place. So what is the global place of connection string? Here, this is the global place. So you got my point here. If I write connection string, let me copy the connection string. In previous example, what I took, this I'm copying it and pasting into here, into form 17 insert button. What happen if I see this? If I can place it, if I can place this one connection insert button, later same line you have to place inside the update button, inside the delete button also. So to do that, to avoid that, you can be able to place this in the global declaration. This global declaration, when we place this connection string address path, so this is applicable for insert button, delete button, update button, the buttons, events which are communicating with database. It's commonly. But now in this insert button, what code we have to write for inserting purpose? Look at this. In previous example, I have inserted already code. So let's copy this total code and paste them into insert button. So record inserted successfully. I'm trying to do, okay, but only the thing is same. Execute non-query is same. The reason is we are trying to insert, delete, update, same execute non-query method only we have to use it. But that's the reason I'm using same lines of code. Only message I'm changing, but only the query will be changed. Look at here, the query need to be changed. Previously, I created for what purpose? Create purpose. Now this time I have to create for what purpose? Insert purpose. So we are looking button name is insert. So we have to write command for insertion. How to write insertion code? Insert into table name is what? My table. Okay, values of. But where you are going to enter the values, sir? In your window form. In window form, where you are trying to enter the values? In text boxes, respect to text boxes. This text box values I have to store into my database table, where here it has to store. In this context, we have to write insert into my table name values. Then here single quotes, double quotes, plus plus, txt id dot text. So the advantage is what, if I give my text box names, when I type txt, automatically IntelliSense is showing clearly text boxes which is available in your form. Which text box field you want, that text box field you can capture it without getting confusion. Then dot text we have to use. First field is I'm entering here txt id dot text, and next single quote come in between, double quotes come in between, plus plus. Next what? Txt name dot text. This also I'm inserting here, name dot text. Next field I'm inserting comma, single quote, double quote, plus plus, txt address dot text I'm taking here, txt address dot text. Next, immediately one more field is there. For all fields, I have to insert single quote, double quote, plus plus, txt salary dot text. I can say that. Then after that, you can see close the bracket after completion of your fields. And after that, query started with what? Double quotes. You can end it with double quotes. You can see ended with the double quotes and terminate. So this is what actually insert command I'm passing. Nothing to do this. Record inserted successfully like this. Record inserted successfully. Same code, I'm copying this and go to design, update, double click on it. In this update button, I'm placing this record updated successfully. I have to write, but instead of insert command, what we have to pass? Update command. remove this. So I want to pass update command, update table name, my table, my table, my table, set. What you want to set? Name. Where you want to set? Wherever I entered the name, I am entering the name in name text box. In this text box, whatever I enter, that I want to update. Okay, set name equals to txt name dot text. Okay, comma, name equals to txt name text, comma, address equals to single quote, double quotes, plus plus txt address dot text. Okay, comma, where we have to change again salary also I want to update, salary equals to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus txt salary dot text, based on what you need to updates are generally based on its id. Okay, so where id equals to id, also we have to enter into text box. Which text box? Txt id dot text. In place, based on this id I want to update. So your update command starts with the double quotes, your update command should ends with double quotes, then termination, close this. This is what exactly update command, record updated successfully. Same code, I'm just copying this, going to delete button event. In this, record deleted successfully, but we have to supply delete command here. Simple way how to supply delete command, just clear it and let me supply delete command. So based on id I want to delete, simply delete from table name my table, where id equals to single code, double code, plus plus, then txt id dot text. In this, the id wherever we enter, that we have to delete. Delete from table name my table, where id equals to txt id dot text. Okay, then close this like this. So delete from my table where id equals to txt id dot text. This is the query we have to use. So record deleted successfully, done. But if you want to clear all the text boxes, now you can see I want to clear all the text box. Txt id dot text equals to empty, txt name dot text equals to empty. Yes, txt name dot text equals to empty, txt address dot text equals to empty, txt salary dot text equals to empty again. So all the text boxes I want to clear it, but this is not the way to clear, because if we have 50 text boxes, 50 times you have to write, but that's not correct. I will find the solution for this also. Okay, so this is not the way. For each control, for each loop you have to write. If you write for each loop, it will be easy to delete all the text boxes clearing. So form 17 I'm going to start now. Change the startup object. So form 17 I'm taking, and click on save it and then run it. So right now, before that, you can see there is no data is available in this SQL Server table. You can refresh it once. There is no data. I want to insert the data from window form. How it is insert, you can see this. So I'm inserting ID number 1. Name is Sai. Address is Hyderabad, and his salary is 80,000, like this. Now click on insert. Record inserted successfully. Clear it. If you want to insert one more record, second record, name is Mohan, salary address is HYD, salary is 90,000. Click on insert, like this. Number of records you can insert. You can go and check out, refresh these. Two records are inserted here. Do you want to update the records? Yes, I want to update first record. First record name is Rajesh I'm giving. Address is Amirpet I'm giving. Salary is 76,000 I'm giving. This is I want to update in the first record. But meanwhile, first record name is Sai. Address Hyderabad 80,000. This will be update when we hit this update button. Updated successfully. Go back and check it. First record details are updated where ID equals to 1. And you can clear it. And do you want to delete records? Yes, I want to delete second record. Delete it. Record deleted. So look at here, record is deleted or not. And do you want to delete first record also? Yes, I want to delete first record, then delete it, record deleted, clear it, close it, and go back to database, query designer, execute SQL, delete it. Table is right now empty. Okay, so this is what insertion, deletion, updation by using SQL Server command. But look at here, when I try to use clear method, clear button code is this one only. But meanwhile, later if I include 4 more text boxes in my form. Okay, just assume that 4 more text boxes I have added. When I start execution, I'm not inserting, just I'm showing junk data, how to do it. So look at here, total 8 text boxes are there. I'm writing some junk data here. Junk data means which is not insert. And I'm going to insert here also. When I hit the clear button, you can see what text boxes will be clear, only these text boxes. Because these text boxes I have recently added, for them, I have not written any condition. So you have increases 4 text boxes, 4 more text boxes code you have to write. So that's not good practice. So that's what this is not acceptable. You can comment this. Instead of this, in this clear button, I will write a loop code, that is for each loop code. You can include any number of text boxes. When we hit the clear button, all text boxes data should be clear. So for that, I'm recommending for each loop. For each control is a class. X is some X control. In this means present form. Dot controls means out of all controls. Okay. Then open bracket, close bracket. If X is text box. In case if X is text box control, then that I want to clear it. Text boxes only I want to clear. X dot text equals to empty. This is fine. So in this form, control is a class. X is object for this control. In this means present form. Control means out of all controls. So many controls are there. Labels, text boxes, buttons. In out of all controls, if X is text box, then I can say X dot text equals to empty means X is an object of text box class. This object will represent this class. Whatever we enter the data in text boxes, that should make empty all. No need to write much more code every time. Whenever we increase text boxes, whenever we decrease text boxes, all text boxes code will be clear it here. Look at here again, I'm trying to use junk data. So I'm inserting some junk data which is not inserting into database. Just I'm checking for clearing text boxes or not. So I'm trying to, yes, this time you can see clear it, all text boxes gone. So this is the way to clear all the text boxes. You can follow the loop concept. Instead of every time we are using txtid.text equal to empty, txtname.text equal to empty, like this. If you have 25 text boxes, 25 lines you have to write, this is not recommend. This is better to write this. So this is about complete insertion, deletion, updation, CRUD operations with ADO.NET using SQL Server. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss how we can replace this text commands with stored procedure concept. Actually, in real time, this is not acceptable. First, you have to understand how to pass the queries from window form to SQL Server database. Then after, if I introduce you stored procedure concept, that will be easy for you. So tomorrow concept is same concept, CRUD operations, but in different style, that is using stored procedures.
Excuse me, sir.
See you tomorrow. Yeah, tell me.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, now connection is closed, sir.
Connection is closed, automatically closed. No, every operation after then we are closing the connection. No.
Okay, sir. All the steps must be in the same order, sir. Right?
Order compulsory. Order compulsory. That is what orderly I have given this many steps.
But after creating table, we opened, sir. How, sir? It is we opened the connection. Creating table only we opened the connection. How it is?
See, the thing is, this event is separate event. Here only open, here only close. Again, this event is separate event. Here only open, here only close. Every event is separately will execute, not together.
You know, sir, we create a table, sir.
I create a table previously. In the previous form, that is already table is there. While creating table also, before creating table I open, after creating table I close.
But code is before opening only we have created table now, sir. That's why my doubt, sir. You know, at the string is we created a table, sir.
Code is there here. This code, when it will execute method. Where is execution method? After open or before open?
What my doubt is, sir, after opening only we can create table, sir. That's it. But before opening only we create a table. That is my doubt, sir.
After opening only table will create. The reason is no matter where you are passing that SQL statement, this is just for SQL statement. SQL statement is there. You are not executed. Where I executed? Here I executed.
Okay, sir. Okay.
SQL
That first open statement will execute, right, sir?
Obviously, open statement. After open statement execute, then cmd.execute non-query will execute. What is cmd here? Command object. Where is the command object? This is. In this command object, what is there? S is there. S means what here? Query is there.
Clear, sir. Clear. Clear, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes,
If you
yes,
do see that is two statement, you are writing single statement, sir. Instead of that one, you write two statements, sir. Please.
two statements also, right? You can see he can hit this, and after that again con equals to new. So what? And also
Yeah,
you
sir.
can
Command, sir. Yes,
semicolon.
sir.
Command also, whatever it is, what is wrong in that? Both are working
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, fine, sir. Yeah, clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.